Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. I'm back for day number 2. I'm going to share, if I can, my video here. So we are day number 2. I hope that you enjoyed day number 1, which was living in the present moment. These are life lessons we can learn from dogs, and while some of you might chuckle at it, actually dogs are some really incredible beings, and they can teach us a lot about how to live. Not take ourselves so seriously sometimes, and just enjoy. And so we are at day number 2 today, and so that is a very important subject, I think. I mentioned in my group, I think it was earlier, that really, especially for women, learn to love yourself and be unapologetically you. Be unapologetic about who you are, right? And that is also can be really tough, because we live in a society where we want to be liked by everyone. We want to have some people's approval. So we think we have to be somebody that we're actually not. And then that's when that, sort of dissatisfaction and resentment and unhappiness starts to kick in our lives, because we aren't able to really be who we are. So learning to love yourself is a huge topic, but basically when you think about dogs, they just love being themselves, right? Hi Sonia, how are you? They can be silly one day, happy or sad the next. They don't care what you or what other dogs around them think. That's what makes them so adorable, right? So be as adorable as your dog, essentially, is the lesson today, is be you. And who are you, right? That's a whole other thing that I work with my clients on, is to really discover, like, some of us can kind of lose track of who we are, because we are so busy being a mom and a wife and a friend and a daughter or whatever. But getting back in touch with who we really are is a huge thing that can be really freeing and so amazingly satisfying once we're able to work through that. So pretending to be something you're not will of course never make you happy, but the key is to love your personality, and your personality will be just as adorable as your dog's. Dogs, they don't worry about their looks. They don't compare themselves to other animals, wishing they have longer legs or smaller hips, or wish they were as smart as the dog on the TV commercials, right? How boring it would be if all dogs or all humans looked and behaved the same way, right? How boring of a world would that be? So we as people, we spend and waste a lot of precious time trying to change our looks, or disliking ourselves for not fitting into some type of standard, whether there be beauty or success or at work or whatever. Instead, really, I would say aim to look at yourself and value and love your uniqueness. What makes you unique, right? Loving all of yourself, the positive and the negative, is the key to happiness, but it can be very challenging, and Scooby agrees over there. So my suggestion would be to spend less time being a bland copy of someone else, and more time really developing into being a unique and amazing original. And that's you. Nobody else is you. And that's the beautiful thing about you. So to become the person you've always wanted to be, you have to look within yourself and be truthful about what makes you you, right? When you try to mimic someone else's life or personality because you think they have a perfect situation, it just never works, right? And it feels icky, and it doesn't feel good or right. But I always say to my clients too, like, if you're capable of seeing certain qualities in someone that you admire, that means that you yourself have those very same qualities. So just remember that. So how can we learn to love ourselves more? Like dogs just have that innate character in them. They just don't care, they do whatever, love me or leave me, I'm me, and it's just so refreshing to see, right? Their confidence level. So the first thing I would say is be willing to feel our emotions. Including pain, and take responsibility for those feelings. All feelings will help teach us something about ourselves, right? So whether we are loving ourselves and honoring ourselves, or abandoning and ignoring ourselves, we can tune into what are we feeling at this moment. So I would say move towards your feelings versus away from them, and be more accepting of them, whatever they are. They're just your feelings. Instead of judging yourself or turning to something to numb your feelings or make someone else responsible for your feelings. Like for instance, when you say, you make me feel, or you make me do this and that, what you're doing then is essentially you're giving your power away to someone else. And that makes you feel hopeless and helpless and like, I can't help myself. Instead, say, when you do this, I feel, right? If you word it like that, it feels more powerful, but you're not blaming someone else for the way you feel. The second one is to become aware about your false beliefs. So you can ask yourself, what am I thinking or doing right now that's causing this feeling of, it can be anxiety, depression, anger, guilt, shame, jealousy, loneliness, whatever, right? So allow that answer to come from the inside, from your feelings. So once you understand what you're thinking or doing that's causing these feelings, then you can start to understand the fears and the false beliefs created by essentially your ego, right? That's leading to those self-abandoning thoughts and actions that you have. So it's really not about, when you're talking about loving yourself and showing self-love, if you're there, please tell me hi. I don't know who's on, I can't even see, but would love to have some interaction. If you have any questions, please go ahead and comment, so I don't feel so alone, like I'm talking to myself. Anyway, so showing yourself self-love or loving yourself, it's not so much, although it's important, about the actions. Oh, hi Heidi, thanks for joining. It's nice to see you. It's not about like, you can take a bath or get a massage or get out in nature or whatever it is. So those are great things, but it's really more about how you feel about yourself. Like, how do you really feel about yourself? How can you show compassion towards yourself and understand and love yourself? Sometimes it can help to think of yourself as a small child. Maybe, for instance, if you think of yourself as a little girl or boy, if you're a man, that can, bring up some compassion for yourself, versus now we are so harsh against ourselves. We talk to ourselves in ways we would never talk to our friends, right? We are our own worst critic. Or you can start talking to yourself. Hi, Lisa, thanks for joining. You can also talk to yourself in the third person. Sounds weird, but like, what would Sunny want right now? What does Sunny need right now, right? Because it's a way of sort of distancing yourself from that sort of harsh judgment you have about yourself. That's a way you can show more love for yourself, more understanding, and more compassion. So over time, you'll discover that loving yourself like dogs do, it helps improve everything in your life, your relationships, your health, your well-being, your ability to manifest your dreams, make money, your self-esteem, essentially. Loving and connecting with yourself is really the key to be able to love and connect with others and create meaningful relationships, and that's what we all want, right? So the saying is that you can't give something that you don't have yourself, which is why it's so important to first and foremost love yourself. And it's not selfish. That's something that some of us have been conditioned to believe, that everyone else comes first and whatever little sliver we have left we can take. But you're not going to show up as the best person, the best mother, the best friend, the best daughter, the best anything, wife or partner, if you are not taking care of yourself, because you're going to be resentful and you're going to be exhausted and not the best version of you. So loving yourself is really what enables you to raise your frequency and co-create with soul, spirit, and passion. So loving yourself, again, then becomes a key to creating a joyful, passionate, and fulfilled life, which I think all of us want, right? So if you're not experiencing that right now, you might want to ask yourself, like, what do I think about myself? Like, how do I talk to myself? Again, language becomes so important. So what happens when you are unapologetic about being yourself? So being real with yourself leads you to create stronger bonds with others as well. So not only are you being true in your actions, but you're also being true in your emotions. So when we're able to open up emotionally and truly let people in, that's when we create that deep connection that we are all so desperate for, right? So be that person to someone else. People also admire someone who has the guts to just be themselves, right? I mean, this way you can be a powerful example of a human being who stands in your own power and lives life the way you want to. And in turn, of course, you'll inspire others to do the same. And again, we need more original people out there, not another, tons of other copies, right? So stop lying to yourself about who you are. You know, when we deny our own truth, we also deny our potential. And we need to see our own potential to live the best life possible. Whether you're trying to make more money or have a happier home life, you know, it really is so important. So we see how loving ourselves and accepting ourselves is so powerful to creating more happiness and success in all areas of our life. Steve Maraboli, I was just looking at a quote. He has a quote that says, "There's nothing more rare nor more beautiful than a woman being unapologetically herself, comfortable in her perfect imperfection." That to me is true, is the essence of beauty. So, you know, let's take this important life lesson from dogs. You know, whether you see dog with 3 legs or 1 eye, or it's got a scruffy coat, or skinny or overweight, they're just strutting along, and you see this like confidence, and they exude a love of life that is really contagious. And that's why I love dogs, because they are unapologetically them. And that's what's making them so adorable, so approachable. That's why everyone loves them. And so that is really my lesson for day 2, is to show more love for yourself, own who you are, stand in your own power. There's only one of you. So be unapologetic about who you are. And those people that you need in your life will be attracted to you. And those who don't like you, see ya. You know, that's really how it is. We can't please everybody. You know, as they say, I think it's the recipe for unhappiness is to try to please everyone. And I think that the more you stand in your own power as you, the more amazing people you'll attract that, you know, really kind of mesh with who you are. And dogs too, you know, they sometimes they don't like dogs, and we don't know why. Why the hell didn't they get along? You know, they're just being themselves, and they don't care. They don't make any excuses. And I love that about dogs. So I hope you found this today interesting. If you would love to share this video, I would love you. And also don't forget to tune in tomorrow again. I'll be here on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for day number 3. More life lessons we can learn from dogs, who are amazing creatures, my favorite. If I had only dogs and maybe a handful of people, I would be really happy, but don't tell anyone. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you guys don't have any questions, I will hope this is okay. I hope that this was useful. Like I said, please share, like my business page, Sunny Gandera. I also shared it on my personal profile, but I'm going to be posting a lot more about animals, about food, about just lifestyle, how to live a more happy and fulfilling life. So yeah, make sure you check out my website also at sunnygandera.com. You can sign up for my newsletter there. I send out probably 1 or 2 emails a week, not more than 2, typically a plant-based recipe, trying to elevate vegan cuisine. You know, I have a background as a chef, so I really love to cook, and lots of other good stuff around personal and professional development. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Thanks, Heidi. Thanks, Lisa. Hi, Catherine. I just saw you pop in and out, maybe. But anyway, I hope to see you guys tomorrow again. Same time, same place, and I'll see you later. Bye.